Okay, perfect. So let's get started. Just to introduce myself, my name is Jen Miller. I am a business success coach with Practice Better, and I'm joined by my colleague Mira. Mira, do you want to say hi? Yeah, so Mira is our customer success lead. So we will be together taking you through our deep dive today. So this week, as you all know, we're going to be going over streamlining your offerings with services and packages. So we're really going to show you how you can sort of customize both your services and packages to really create that great client experience by bundling your offerings, and also, in an effort to keep clients accountable and committed as well, in addition to, of course, saving you a lot of time as a practitioner with streamlining a few of these things. So services and packages are really sort of the cornerstone of many of the features in Practice Better. So it's really important that you make sure you've got yourself set up in a way that you're going to get the most out of them. So that's why we're really excited to bring this deep dive to you today. For those of you who have been a Practice Better users for a while, you might know that we have done a deep dive on this topic in the past, but this was over a year ago and lots has changed. So that's why we wanted to sort of dive into this again and do a bit of a refresh on this topic. So we hope that you'll love it. By the end of our session today, you're going to learn how to do a few things. So first, optimize your setup of your one-on-one as well as group services. Customize your availability to really further restrict how your sessions can be conducted. And then really utilize the different sort of booking options that you have available for clients to actually book these sessions and services with you. And then on the packages side of things, how you can use packages to bundle your services really seamlessly, as well as your programs together in one package. And then lastly, we're going to touch on using a package to sell a service that actually doesn't require scheduling. So that's something that some of you may not be aware that you can do. So we're excited to share about that as well. So we're going to get started here. Mira's going to go ahead and share her screen, and we're actually going to turn off our video for this portion of the deep dive, just so we can really focus on the demo. So I'm going to do that now. And I just want to mention that feel free to, as we go along, put any questions that you do have into the chat. We will try to address some as we go along if they're relevant to sort of what we're talking about, and then at the end we'll hope to have some time to answer more questions as well. So just wanted to mention that. So before we get started, let us know in the chat who is currently offering services and packages to your clients through Practice Better. So just let us know in the chat if that's you. Amazing. I see a few. I am me. Yes. Services but not packages. Wonderful. Yeah, so it sounds like lots of you you're doing a few different things. Some people are using services but not packages. So I think this will be really valuable for everyone, sort of no matter where you're at with your use of those features. So first, before we start demoing a few things, I wanted to just define the difference between services and packages. So just so that's really clear for everyone. So services are your individual session types that you may be offering to your clients. So for example, maybe it's a free discovery session, an initial consultation, a follow-up session, that kind of thing. And you can, have those vary in duration. And then when we're talking about packages, we're typically referring to multiple, services or sessions that you bundle together as a single offering. But you can also include programs in those packages as well. So you can bundle a program with a service as well. So just wanted to sort of define that before we dive in. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at is services and how you can really optimize your setup of your one-on-one as well as group services. So in setting up your service, this is really where you can actually customize it to fit your workflow and how you run your practice, from the duration of the session to the payment options, including payment plans, to how you'll actually conduct it. And then also, any automated notifications that will be sent out to your client when they book that service. So Mira's going to walk us through how we can really optimize the setup of our services. So let's get started with that.
Perfect. So to create a service, you'll go to My Practice, My Services, click on the red Fast Action button and select Add Service. I'm going to show you a service that I've already set up. So when you're creating your service, it's important to obviously set a name. Optionally, you can also set a description. This is a great way for you to let your clients know what's included in your service and what to expect. Here, you can also advertise any cancellation fees, as you can see I've done here. Set the duration. Optionally, you can also link any terms and conditions that you have created. Under payment options, you'll set the fee. If you're integrated with Stripe or Square, you'll have the option of setting your setting as required to pay at booking. This means your client is going to have to pay in order to confirm the booking with you. Under service availability, this is how you'd like to set your service. So whether that's in person, by phone, online video chat. If you select online video chat, you can utilize Practice Better's telehealth, which is built into the platform for one-on-one sessions, or you can integrate your account with Zoom to utilize the Zoom functionality. Under booking options, you can set buffer time. So buffer essentially gives you space between your sessions. So it's a great way for you to prevent back-to-back bookings. If you're traveling to different sessions, you can set enough time to allow you to get to and from place. You may not need as big of a buffer time, maybe even 10 minutes. If you just want to get a breather before your next client or take some notes afterwards, you can do that as well. In booking options, you can also restrict how soon in advance a client can book. So here you can see I've set it so that no client can book less than 3 hours before the session. So if you scroll down here, so these are your customizable options. So here you can change the book now button, the confirmation label, the redirect label. So let's say you have a thank you page on your website that you want to send your clients to after they confirm a booking, or you want to send them somewhere else, you can redirect them there. Under booking restrictions, you can set your service as public or private. So this gives you the ability to kind of control who's allowed to book your services. So if there's certain services that you would like your clients to book themselves, you can set that as public. And if you set one as private, clients will not be able to see it unless you give them the link to that specific service. Now under notification options, these are the email notifications that go out for this specific service. So let's say you want to give your clients extra information in regards to their initial consultation with you, but you don't want that to go out for every single session booked email. You can just customize this one in particular and add the extra details here. And lastly, under session reminders. So you can use the default reminders under your booking and cancellation settings, or you can create your own ones for this particular service. Now, if we scroll up to advanced options, here you have a few more things that you can enable. So for example, you can enable require billing information when clients book this service. So let's say you do not want to collect payment at the time of booking, but you'd like to collect a credit card on file to save. You can enable this option so your clients will be prompted to enter in a credit card, but they won't be charged depending on your settings. Under payment plans, you can create a payment plan for services, packages, and programs. Here's what I have set up. You can preview here. So with payment plans, you can set your deposit, set your installment payment, how soon you want the payments to begin. And again, this is just for my service, but you can set it up for packages which may cost a little bit more and you want to give your clients more payment options to be able to work with you. Under booking page forms, I mentioned earlier that you can link a term and conditions to your package. Terms and conditions are a great way to notify your clients in regards to something. For example, wear loose clothing on your session. If you want to collect a signature or collect acknowledgement of your policies, for example, I highly recommend utilizing the booking page forms functionality instead. So here you can link any terms and conditions. I'm going to put my interested client's application here, and your client will be prompted to complete that at the time of booking. And lastly, if you work with insurance, you can add your billable units here. And once you're done, select Save Changes.
Yeah, wonderful, Mira. Thanks for highlighting all of that. So, setting up your service, it might seem pretty straightforward, but there are a lot of different sort of customizable options that you can use that really allow you to streamline your workflow. So, as Mira was just mentioning, something like that booking page form, that can really support automating that process, and then you're not having to do that manually. So that does save you lots of time. And then also, allowing for a seamless client experience with the form just being right there at the time of booking. And then even the ability, like Mira highlighted, to customize the notifications that the client receives. In doing that, you can really, add that sort of terminology or put it in your voice so it really speaks to your brand, and that also creates that really wonderful client experience as well. So when setting up a group service, we'll just mention that all of the options are going to be pretty much the same. The only difference is that you will be able to choose an attendee limit for your group service. So Mira is going to just show sort of what that looks like. And basically with the attendee limit, this is beneficial, in a lot of different circumstances. But for example, say you were hosting a group workshop where you want to only have a certain number of participants. Maybe it's a more like intimate type of workshop or coaching session. And so, setting this, this attendee limit would support you in being able to facilitate that without having to manually keep track of the number of registrants. So once you put that limit in, you just don't have to worry about it. And once that limit has been hit, then that won't be available to book anymore for your clients. So just wanted to highlight that for you all. All right.
Before we move forward, Jen, another thing I want to highlight with both group services and singular services, under booking options, under telehealth application, if you have Zoom integrated in your account, and again, with group services, if you're planning on running it online, you're going to need Zoom. It's a good idea to make sure that you've set your default to Zoom here.
Yeah, that's a great one. Thanks, Mira, for bringing that up. That's very true. So yeah, if it's a group service, then you will need to use Zoom for that, as our Practice Better Telehealth is just for one-on-one services. Wonderful. Okay, so let's sort of move on. So once you've actually set up your service, the next thing that you'll want to do is set up your availability. So your availability is going to allow you to really further customize when and how your sessions are available to your clients. And here you'll be able to schedule basically time periods when clients can book specific one-on-one or group sessions that you've set up. So this is really nice because it ensures that nothing will be booked outside of your set times. So there'll be no, sort of back and forth and rescheduling with clients. If you say they booked outside of your, your typical availability, that won't be possible, because when they go to book, the only options available to them will be those that you've set up in your availability. So Mira's going to sort of take us through how we can set up that availability for both our one-on-one and group services.
So once you've created your services, you can go ahead and create your availability. To do this, go to My Practice, My Availability. You can create your availability in two ways. So the first option, you can drag and drop to the times you wish to start and end. And you'll select if that's for one-on-one or group, or you'll click on the red Fast Action button in the bottom right-hand corner, select group or one-on-one service, and then manually enter in your start and end time. So the great thing about our availability system on Practice Better is you can set up a reoccurring schedule if you know this is your time slot that you normally have, or if your schedule varies day by day, you can always create new availability and adjust accordingly. So I'm going to say this availability reoccurs every Tuesday. It's from 9 to 5, as you can see, the start and end time, and then I can enable which services I want to conduct on that specific day. So as you can see, when you're enabling your services, you also have the ability to further restrict your service method. So let's say on Tuesdays, I only want to be available through online video chat for this particular service. I can restrict that further in my availability. And if you are working out of more than one location, you can also restrict the location you're working out of on that particular day. So this helps you manage multiple locations availability all in one place.
Yeah, and I'm just seeing one question here that would be good to address right now. So someone had asked, can you integrate the Practice Better calendar with Google Calendar? And yes, you can, absolutely. So that's just an integration. You
Yeah.
can just simply link that to your Practice Better account, and that will ensure that anything you have set up in your Google Calendar is blocked off in Practice Better. So clients won't be able to book during those time slots that you have things blocked in your Google Calendar. So that's really simple. And then I also see someone had asked, is there a way to integrate with iCloud? So Mira, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that you can do that via Google Calendar. Is that right? So you would sort of integrate your iCloud with your Google Calendar and then integrate.
Yeah, so you can integrate Google Calendar with your iCal. Keep in mind, this integration is delayed. So if you want to instantly block off your schedule to make sure no one else is booking those time slots, then I highly, highly recommend setting this information in Google Calendar directly, because that is instantaneous in terms of syncing. So keep that in mind if you do integrate Google Calendar to iCal, that there is a delayed sync time, and that's unfortunately not on our end that we can control.
Yeah, no, that's good to mention. Perfect.
And another thing just to highlight before we move off from availability is, once you set up your availability, if you ever feel that you need to change it for a certain reason, you'll click on the day, you can adjust the times, or select delete. If you select this instance only, it deletes for that day. If you select entire series, it deletes your availability completely. So these are some options in case you find you've set up your reoccurring schedule and you just need to change it.
Yeah, perfect. Wonderful. So if you want, to look at setting up your group service availability. So what Mira was just showing us was for one-on-one services. So with your group service availability, if you want clients to be able to choose, from specific availability slots for your group session. So maybe it's a recurring webinar series or a group coaching session, you'll need to set up your availability for that. So Mira, can you show us how we could do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, setting up the availability for your group service is quite similar to setting up for singular service. You'll either click on the start and end time, or you'll select the red fast action button, select group service. It's automatically selected my one group service, but if you have multiple ones, you could switch between them here. And then you can select the time that you wish for it to be starting at. The difference with a group service is that you don't have to set an end time, because it automatically keeps your duration that you set in your service in mind. So I'm going to select this group service reoccurs weekly every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And if you just wait for it to load, you can see here it is.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm actually just going to address one follow-up question quickly before we move on. That was regarding the Google Calendar question. So someone had asked, do your clients see your Google Calendar appointments, or is it just blocked off in Practice Better? So no, the clients won't see anything in your calendar. So basically just when they go to book, they'll only have the available time slots popping up for them that are open in your calendar. So they won't see, anything that's blocked off. It'll just only give them options that are open. So just wanted to address that before we kind of move on. Okay, perfect. So now that we've set up our availability, you're ready for clients to actually start booking your services. So while we're on the topic of group services, let's kind of start there, since we just, Mira just set availability up for that. So the first way to do this is through sharing the registration link for your group service that is scheduled for a specific time and date. So this is good if you don't want clients to actually choose from multiple time and date options, and you just want them to select one. So maybe it's something like a one-off wellness workshop or a one-time group coaching session, something like that. So Mira can sort of highlight to us how we can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go to my schedule, my calendar. I'm going to click on the group class that we just created, and I'm going to select view session details. And I'm going to confirm this group class. And you'll see that option at the bottom right-hand corner of that pop-up. And this brings me to your session details for your group class. So if I want to share the registration link for this specific day for August 26th, I'll select share registration link, and then I can copy and paste this link on my website, share it on social media, give it to clients directly. And then again, if you click on the link, it'll take your client specifically to the booking page for that one session. So they're, as you can see, they're not seeing between all of the different dates, they're just seeing for that one date.
Yeah, that's great. And I think, again, that's a really nice way to do it. If, again, it's just a one-off session, like, you know, a wellness workshop or a one-time group coaching session where you don't want the client to actually choose between multiple time slots. There's just one available, and you just want to send them the registration link for that one single date and time. So just wanted to, yeah, highlight that for everyone. Now, if you do want clients to choose from multiple availability time and date options for your group service, maybe it's a recurring group coaching session or a recurring workshop series where there's multiple date and time options set up in your availability, then you can actually just simply share the registration link from your group service with your clients. So Mira is sort of showing us this right now, and this will allow clients to actually choose from all of the availability slots that you set up originally for that group service. So as you can see here, as Mira is going through, it's sort of giving the different options for that service based on the availability that was set up. Awesome. All right, I'm just going to take a look and see if we've got any questions. Let's see. Okay, so a question about the calendar. Is there a place on the calendar where we see our openings and our booked clients? Yeah, so Mira, why don't we just go to my calendar for a moment, so we can sort of just show what that looks like. Yeah, so if you take a look at the calendar here, you can see that the color blocks are Mira's, as a practitioner, her booked appointments with her clients. And then as you can see, sort of the green shaded areas, that's her availability slot for that day. So you can easily see, you know, on the day that she's booked, maybe that's the Thursday there that's showing up, that she still has time between, I think that's 12:30 to 1:30 open. You know, you can easily sort of see that, if that makes sense. Okay, perfect. All right. So let's move on. So we showed you how you can allow clients to book your group services. So now let's take a look at booking your one-on-one services. So with this, there's a few different ways that you can either book clients or allow them to book your one-on-one services. So Mira is going to walk us through sort of what that looks like and what options you have available to you.
Yeah, so I'm here on my services and packages page. If you click on the three dots beside your service, you'll see these available options. So if I select invite to book, and I'll do that here, you'll see this pop up, which will allow me to select the client that I'd like to invite to book this particular service. And then I can customize the email message going out to them, letting them know, hey, please book this service, and then send it over to them. You can even suggest a date that you would like them to book. This is only available for clients that are currently working with you, so they have to be on your My Clients list. Another option is if you select the share link again. So you'll see the same link. So with this link, again, you can integrate it on your website, you can share in your social media, you can give it to clients directly, and this will allow them to book themselves. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Similar to a group service. So clients can select how they would like to conduct the service and see the available times, and then select the time that works well for them, and then continue on with the booking process.
Yeah, I just had one question, Mira, that I think we could address now is just with the short link. So if we go back to share the link. So someone had asked, when would you use that short link for your service? So as you can see, Mira just toggled on that create short link option. And basically this is just really nice because it creates, like it says, a shorter link. for your booking page for that service. So that's useful if you want to use that link. Maybe it's on your social media or your website or somewhere where you're actually displaying the link itself and you want it to be a bit cleaner and shorter, or somewhere that might have a limit on the character count or something along those lines. That can be really helpful, just to be able to easily shorten that link in just a quick click. And then you can use that just to make it a little more clean. But I mean, if you're just putting that booking link behind like a button on your website, it doesn't really matter because the client won't see that URL. Anyways, it'll be sort of hidden behind that button. So it depends how you're using that link, in whether you would want to use the short link or not, if that makes sense. Thanks, Mira. That's awesome. Okay. So I think we went through all of the different options for the one-on-one services. Is that right, Mira?
Yeah, so the one thing I can highlight here is, aside from inviting a client to book, sharing the booking page, your other option is, of course, to book the client yourself directly. Keep in mind, if you do select this option, you bypass any of the forms attached to your booking page and you bypass any of the payment options. So if there are payment plan options for your client and you select book a client, you bypass that option. You'll have to then either manually send them an invoice or manually create a custom payment plan for them.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Sarah. So I see another question here they're asking, what does it mean by the change order button at the top right there? So basically that just gives you the option to change the order of your services. So as Mira is showing here, you can easily just order them. Now this can either be for your own sort of, I guess, just the clarity and to keep it organized in whatever way you want to view it yourself, but also on your general public bookings page, that will also change the order there as well. So that it can kind of create it in a more sequential order, or you can put, maybe it's your discovery call at the top and then, so on from there. So just helps you sort of to keep it organized and how it's laid out. All right, perfect. And I had seen one other question. I'm just going to take a peek here. Oh, excuse the siren in the background. Sorry about that. Okay. Do you offer the opportunity to book for a discovery session with a potential client who's not registered with Practice Better? Okay, so that's a great question. So any client that you are booking any of your services, they will be sort of a new client in your account. So even if you're just booking that discovery session with them, they will still be basically added as a client to your account. Anything else you want to mention on that question, Mira?
No, I think we're good. Another thing I will highlight in terms of just going off of the change order is, if you go to the gear icon and go to share my link, here you can create your own custom booking page. So on your custom booking page, again, you can change the order of how your services and packages and programs are laid out in. You can pick and choose which ones you'd like to show clients, and you can create multiple pages if needed. So that's just one thing to highlight on the previous question.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Mira. That's wonderful. And I see another question here, just while we're still on services. Is there a way we could discount on a service for a short time as an incentive for people to book quickly? Yeah, so I think what we would recommend on that is you can actually set up a coupon or a discount code in your Practice Better, and you can have an expiry date on that discount code. So that would be a great way to do that, offer that discount using a coupon code, but then set up an expiry date so that, it's only valid for that certain period of time.
And just to add on to that, if you do want to offer a discount and advertise that, you can enter the coupon code in the description of your service or package. Keep in mind, coupon codes are only applicable if your client selects the pay in full option. So if they're entering into a payment plan, they'll not have the option of utilizing the coupon code. And if you go to advanced options under displayed fee, here you can custom what your clients see. So let's say you do reduced price till September 2nd, and you save that, that's what your clients are going to see when they see your service. So they see, if you look over here under my second offering, 1 hour reduced price till September 2nd. So you can advertise your special pricing that way as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really great tip. And someone has asked how can they actually set up the discount code? So maybe we can just quickly show Mira where
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll go to My Practice, Billing and Payments. And then on the top corner, you'll select Coupons. Click on the red button, select who the coupon will be made under if you're on a team plan. And then you'll create your coupon accordingly. So you'll set the name, the percentage, or it's a fixed amount, and then the expiry date, and then how many times it can be redeemed. And this is per person. So if each person can use it once, then you'll put 1 total. And then you can also restrict how, on what services packages it's applicable on. So let's say it's only available on your 5-session package, then you'll select that.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry, just to clarify, the max redemptions is total times it can be used. So let's say you put 20, it'll be only 20 times max it can be used in total.
In total. Okay, thanks, Mary. That's awesome. Yeah. So that's great too, because then you can use that as sort of an incentive for your clients as well, and saying, you know, there's a limited number of you know, discount codes available. Maybe it's like 3 or 5 or whatever it is, and sort of use that as a bit of the urgency for them to sign up as well. So there's another way you can kind of do that. All right, cool. So just to sort of pause before we move on to packages, I just wanted to put out a question to everyone. What has been sort of your biggest takeaway so far in what we've gone over, or what has stood out most to you so far? Maybe something new that you learned. So just let us know in the chat. Coupons, nice. I see a couple coupons, amazing. The depth of categories I hadn't been using, how to navigate the portal, changing the order of your services, sharing links to book, wonderful. Yeah, so it sounds like there's been a lot of good takeaways, and hopefully you guys have found everything helpful so far. So that's great. Yeah, I see lots of coupons, so I'm glad we went over that. Wonderful. Okay, so let's move on to packages. So packages really allow you, like we talked about at the beginning, to seamlessly bundle your services and programs together. It allows you to put them in one single package for your client to book versus your client having to book or purchase each one of them separately. So as an example, you know, maybe you want to offer one initial consultation with 4 follow-ups together for a client, or maybe you have a program, but you want to bundle it with a bonus one-on-one session. You can do that using packages, and it makes it really seamless and streamlined for both you as a practitioner and your client, because again, it's a one-time purchase, and then all of the sessions that they have as a part of that package are kept track of for both you and the client to keep track or to check anytime. So you can really monitor that easily. Another benefit of packages is it is really helpful in keeping clients accountable and committed, because you can bundle those services. So, you know, if you know in your specific practice that you do need more than one session with a client to really help them get the results that they, you know, desire in coming to you, then using a package is really great, because the client, of course, commits upfront to multiple sessions. And then another benefit is that I think it can really help you sell the service too, because knowing that the client is guaranteed to have a certain number of sessions with you, you're more confident that they'll be able to get the results that they are coming to you for. And then you can also, like I had mentioned earlier, easily add on sort of bonus services to your programs. And that can also be sort of a selling feature as well. So just wanted to give a little bit of sort of context around packages and why we love them and how you might be able to use them. And Mira is going to show us how we can actually create them and get them set up in a really streamlined way.
Yeah, so to create a new package, you'll click on the red fast action button and select add package. I'm going to walk you through a package that I've already set up. So the setup of a package is quite similar to that of a service. You'll set the name, you'll add a description, you can link terms and conditions if needed. The one big difference is that you can add an expiry date to your package. So what this means is that if you have different services in your package, if your client does not use it up before their expiry date, then they'll be unable to to continue to book from their package. So this is a great incentive and way to get your clients to be active and motivated in booking with you. Payment options, everything is the same. If you're linked to Stripe or Square, you can require payment at the time of booking. You have the customizable options here for your buttons and your redirect. You can create your package to be public or private. One thing with packages that you can add multiple different services together. So here's an example. Here's a service that I've added. When adding a service, you can limit the amount of times a client can book that particular service. So let's say you're adding an initial consultation and you only want them to book this particular service once, you can limit that here. Another option is you can allow your clients to book the service at the time of booking or make it mandatory that they book their initial at the time of booking their package. This is a great way for you to help your clients get a head start in working with you rather than them purchasing a package and then them not following through with continuously working with you. So this is another option that you have to enable. Aside from adding multiple services, you can also, if you're on a team plan, allow your clients to request services within the package that your other team members offer. So that's another really cool thing for our team plan users. And lastly, you can also add programs into your packages. So if your client purchases a package with a program, they'll be automatically enrolled into that program as well. Keep in mind, in order for your clients to view the program or book sessions from their package, they will need access to the client portal. And everything else in a package is the same. You can customize the package confirmation email. You go up to advanced options. Here you can also require billing information at the time of booking. You can set the displayed fee, as I mentioned, add a payment plan, and add forms to your package. Keep in mind, in terms of adding forms, you can add a max number of 3, and the forms that you attach, they cannot require practitioner signature, only the client signature. And then once you're done, select Save Changes.
Yeah, thanks, Mira. That's great. So I see a couple of questions here. So the first one that we can address, they're asking, will fixed date programs work with packages? So yes, absolutely. You can add a fixed date program to your package, but I believe with regards to the date, then Mira, they'll have to, like, once the date comes and goes of the fixed date program, that package won't be like eligible anymore. Is that right?
Yes. So if you're offering a package with a fixed date program, just make sure that the program that's inside of it is able to be entered in by the client. So it has to have an active date.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, really good question though. Okay, let me take a look. I see lots of questions coming in here. So someone had asked, instead of packages, can we set up monthly payments, i.e. clients pay month to month like a membership? So yeah, so you can set up payment plans for like your individual services or your packages or your programs. So maybe, Mira, we can just sort of go back into show setting up a payment plan.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just delete the one that I currently have. So you'll select Add Plan. You can enter in a deposit. I'm going to write 500. And then you'll see the option to allow your clients to pay in installments. So you have essentially 2 options. You can collect a deposit or you can create an entire payment plan. If you just ask for a deposit only, it'll be up to you to follow up for the remainder balance. The benefit of selecting allow my clients to pay in installments is that once you set up the payment plan, the system will automatically send an invoice or charge the card on file for you. So here I'm going to enter in the installment amount. So I'm going to write $250. I want this to begin 1 month after they've paid the deposit, and it's going to repeat monthly. And select Save. And then here I can preview what that installment schedule is going to look like.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so you can set that up, you know, a payment plan as Mira had showed, again, for a package, for a service, or for a program. So it's available to you for all 3. I mean, I think most often you'll probably use that on a larger ticket item. So maybe it's, you know, your package that has multiple services and a program, or a program that's a larger ticket item. So that is really available to you for any of those. All right, just seeing another question here. How would you recommend setting up a service for a consult that they don't pay for because the company is paying you? Yeah, so for any service, you can have it be free. So you don't have to put a dollar amount, you can just put 0. So as Mira is showing here, just in the fee field, you just put 0, and then the client can book that service, but they're not required to pay. So that's how you could do that. Perfect. All right, let's just see if there's anything else we can address right now. Okay, well, let's actually just take a look at one of the other things we wanted to show with regards to packages is actually using it to sell a service that doesn't require scheduling. So this is another way that you can use packages by creating one that's empty or doesn't have any services attached to it. And you would do this if you had a service or offering that you wanted the client to purchase, but that doesn't require a time slot or scheduling. So, as a couple examples, maybe you offer lab testing, and that is sort of, you want to set that up as a separate service and have clients pay for it, but they don't need to schedule anything. So you could actually just set that up as an empty package that the client would pay for, but they wouldn't be required to book anything because there's no service actually attached to it. Another example could be maybe you offer like email only coaching, where you're supporting them simply just over email. You still want them to be able to purchase that and pay for it through Practice Setter, but they don't need to book anything specifically and schedule anything in. So those are just a couple examples. And Mira's going to walk us through just setting that up, setting up an empty package and what that looks like. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, so I'm clicking on the red fast action button, selecting add package. I'm going to call this one lab testing. You can add extra information here, set the price. So one thing to note, under the advanced options here, I would personally remove any mention of the package. So instead of saying book now, you can say purchase lab here, or lab request done, and redirect them to a different place. Another thing to note is under notification options. So this is what that email looks like. It says package confirmation. I've created a new package for you. If this is, let's say, a lab testing, I would personally remove this and say lab test confirmation, and then delete this, and you can add additional information. That way you're removing any mention of a package, because this isn't actually a traditional package. This is something else. So once that's done, select Save Changes, and you'll see this pop-up that says you haven't added any sessions to this package. No worries, it's just for us giving a mention in case you did forget, but you can continue anyways. So now what that looks like is if you select Share Link and go to Visit Page, your clients won't be prompted to select any date and time, because this is something that they can just purchase. They don't actually have to schedule a date with you for. So that's really handy.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Mira. Yeah, so that's really simple. It's pretty much just the exact same process of setting up a package, except you're not adding any services or programs to that package. And like Mira just showed, when the client goes to book, they are basically just given the name of the service, which in this case is lab testing, and then they can be taken to the payment. So there's no mention of any scheduling or anything like that. So hopefully that's helpful. We think, some practitioners and users are aware of that option and are using it, but it might be something new to some of you. So hopefully that will be supportive. So I'm just seeing a few more questions about packages here. So if a client books a package and the initial service booking is required, does the cost of the initial service, is it on display or is it the package price? Yeah, so that's a good question. So it would just be the package price. So Mira, maybe we can sort of head back into that one.
Yeah, so let's select Share Link, Visit Page. So as you can see, I set it to book the discovery call at the time of booking the package. There's no mention of price on any of the services or programs. The only price that they see is the one that's associated with the package itself?
Yeah, that's a great question though. Yeah, so that way, you know, you can bundle multiple services and programs and set your fee, but the client won't be aware of the individual cost of each of those. So hopefully that answers your question. Another question, do services that are being used in a package have to be set up separately? So I guess it depends if you're wanting to include certain different services in your package, or if you just want a bundle of, you know, multiple of the same service. So, you know, so for example, maybe we can, Mira, go back into that package again, just go edit
Yep.
and take a look at some of the services we've added to it to sort of highlight this. Yeah, so as Mira has here, so she's got a few different types of services here. However, the holistic nutrition follow-up consultation has a maximum of 24. So that just means that the client can then book up to 24 sessions of that session type. So you'd only need to set up separate services if you want, if they're different offerings, basically. So maybe one's an initial consult, maybe one's a follow-up, one's a discovery call, and so on. So, but if you're just offering multiple of the same service in your package, it's just the one service, and then you just include the number of basically bookings they can do on that specific service. So hopefully that makes sense and answers your question, but really good question for sure. All right, let's see what else we've got here. So maybe while I'm taking a look at the other questions, let us know in the chat again what has resonated the most with you about your packages and how you can use them, or what is sort of your biggest takeaway so far. So I see a couple empty packages. Yes, glad that was beneficial for you. Yeah, amazing. Having the expiry date, being able to do lab testing as packages. Yeah, awesome. And then I also see just a couple of comments here from new users to Practice Better saying that they're feeling a little overwhelmed in where to get started. So we have a wonderful YouTube channel that has a handful of tutorial videos available. So if you are needing some more support and want to learn more on the platform, that's a great place to go. But we also have a really wonderful help center with you know, extensive help articles on our different features. So Mira is sort of showing you how you can actually get there right from your client portal. Just go to the little question mark and visit our help center, and that will take you right to our help center, where you can basically search for anything, but you can also do so in the search bar right inside your client portal, or your practitioner portal, sorry, as well. Okay, amazing. So let's take a look here on any other questions. So yeah, as we're sort of wrapping up, make sure to ask any other questions you have, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. I know we're sort of coming up on our 1 hour time here. Okay, so I see a question simply, how can you bundle different programs and services? So that's sort of what we just showed with regards to the package. So as Mira had set up in her package there, maybe we can, Mira, just head into that package again and just show that we were able to add both the session and the programs.
Yep, so I'm clicking edit. So you can add additional services by selecting add another, and additional programs by selecting add another. And let me just delete these so you can look at how that looks without anything in it. So if I want to add a new session altogether, I'll select this and continue to add the services. Let's say I want to make this one mandatory, add that in, and then continue to add. The same thing with the program. I get to choose which program I want to add in, and I can add multiple if needed.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so really simple there. You can add, yeah, multiple programs, multiple services. Again, in the package that bundles it all together so that your client can simply purchase the package, and they, you know, have access to all of those services and programs. And with the program, I'm not sure if we mentioned it, but when the client purchases the package, they'll automatically be enrolled into your program. So you don't have to worry about enrolling them. As soon as they purchase the package that's with the program as part of it, they will be auto-enrolled into that program. So that's great. Okay, and I see, are there videos for our clients to help them use the portal more efficiently? So yeah, on our YouTube channel, we also have videos that are specifically for the clients as well, so they can absolutely check those out to get some guidance. And of course, you know, always available to both client and practitioner to reach out to our customer success team at help@practicebetter.io for any additional support that they might need for sure. Okay, another question I see, what is the difference between a program and a service? Yeah, so we won't go into sort of a deep dive on programs today in this webinar, but we have another deep dive on programs specifically that you can check out. But basically a program is basically an online course. So allowing you to share resources with multiple clients at once. So you know, you can kind of add different content, whether that's PDFs or worksheets or video or photo to modules in your program that a client can purchase and be walked through based on, you know, dates that you set for that content to be released to them. So it's basically an online course. And then your services are, you know, like we've sort of gone through, the way that you work with clients, whether it's one-on-one or in a group. And you can set those up like we've showed to do them virtually through telehealth or Zoom or in person or by phone. So you can sort of customize that as well. All right, I'm just gonna see if there's any last couple questions that we can get to. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, and if anyone had asked something in the Q&A, we're typically looking at the chat right now. So if you want to re-ask something into the chat, then feel free to do that as well. Let's see here. So I see a question about forms. Yeah, there's been a few questions about forms. So again, we won't go into a deep dive on forms today, but again, we have lots of amazing resources on forms on our YouTube channel and our help center. But basically forms allow you in your Practice Better account to build out a form to sort of customize it with whatever questions you want to ask your client and whatever type of sort of information you want to get from your client. So we have templates for forms, so you can use those as a starting point or you can build them from scratch. But there's a lot you can do with forms. So definitely would recommend if you want more information on that, again, to check out our YouTube channel or our help center as well. Okay, let's see here. What's the best way to put a link to your package that doesn't require booking on your website? Okay, so that's a good question. So here, maybe we can just head back to that empty package, the lab testing that we set up. And it's exactly the same. So we would just go to the more options button and share link. And then you can just get the booking link for that service. Again, it's empty. So the booking link is just going to take them to that booking page, which they won't actually have to book. They'll just simply purchase the package that, you know, again, doesn't require them to book anything. So you can put that as a link on your website, or like we were saying earlier, you can use the short link to put that on your social media, or you can like hide that link behind a button on your website. So depending on the type of website that you have, that's done differently, but yeah, you can sort of set it up that way. And then again, that will just take your client right to the booking page for that service. Again, they won't have to book anything because there's no services set up. They'll just be prompted to pay for that service. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so I think that we will wrap it up there for today. So I'm gonna just go ahead and turn my video back on so we can sort of wrap things up with everyone. We hope that that was beneficial for you all today in really helping you to streamline your offerings with your services and packages. It not only saves you time and allows you to really optimize your workflow, but also, as we sort of highlighted, creates that really seamless client experience as well. So for any follow-up questions, like I've said, please reach out to our customer success team. You can reach them at help@practicebetter.io for any follow-up questions or support or troubleshooting or whatever it might be. And then also definitely encourage you to take a look at our YouTube channel, as well as our help center for further support as well. So for anyone who's asked, there's been a few questions about the replay. Yes, this is being recorded and has been recorded, and we will be sending out the replay. Yeah, we'll be able to use this as a resource and go back to it anytime if you want just a bit of a refresher or a review on your services and packages. So thank you all so very much. It was really a pleasure to be here. We really always love doing these deep dives to just sort of highlight in detail one of the features on the platform that we love. And with services and packages, like we've mentioned, this is really sort of a cornerstone and building block to a lot of the other features. So it's important that you feel really comfortable with all of it. So we hope that that really helped you today. So thank you all and take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.